and welcome back to Bre'sBooks. Today we're doing sort of a, what would you call it, like a flashback video. This is like the anime tag 2.0 we did 3 years ago with me and my sister, Grace, and she's going to help me answer the questions and like updating it from all the good anime we've seen since we did it the first time. This is all going to be all new answers, stuff we didn't mention before that we've seen since. Maybe some new merch we've collected since, and it's going to be a good time. So we're going to get right into it because there's a lot to go through and we have a lot more answers and we're crazy passionate about these things now. So, okay. The first one you may recall is your favorite opening. I also included ending songs for this because I love anime music now. It's kind of my thing now. So good. So, running through, Fastest Finger First opening on my mind. The, Omodashi film opening from Tada Never Falls in Love. The Brothers Conflict opening, Beloved X Survival. The Before Dawn ending number 5 from One Piece. The Fruits Basket opening ending number 2. Violet Evergarden, pretty much like everything Violet Evergarden. It's so beautiful. Like, I wasn't even going to like pick anything. I was just like, I know all of that music is amazing. I'm a Believer opening number 1 from season 2, Haikyuu.
I did have a few.
My Hero opening number 2, Make My Story. So good. The Ballroom, Welcome to the Ballroom opening, 10% Roll, 10% Romance song. Super good, super catchy. And the Ancient Magus Bride Here opener song, number 1. They changed it and I was very upset because it was not as good. I think that's pretty much it. Do you have anything to add?
You had a few that I didn't even think of. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Love is Difficult for an Otaku, the fiction opener as well. I think that's pretty much it. There's probably more, but that's plenty for now. Go ahead.
You thought of a bunch of, I did not even think of.
I've been very much into that lately.
Well, I have favorite openers, Fairy Tale. This was the opener for number 2. It's called Sense of Wonder. And then I have like 3 that I could think of that I could find. 3 of Fairy Tale's openings, because if you watch Fairy Tale.
Opening for the final season is really good too.
Well, yeah, that's actually one of the ones I was going to mention.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Well, Sense of Wonder was like in the earlier stages of Fairy Tale, I think within the first 2 seasons. And then the latest seasons, Brianna mentioned, No Limit and More Than Like are 2 of the intro scenes for Fairy Tale of like the recent seasons. So it's awesome. Black Clover, opener 1. It's rock hard, solid epicness. So I love that one. And Your Line, April. Because piano, and I play piano, and it's got a soft play. I mean, let's be real, a lot of anime have piano intros and stuff, but Your Line, April, if you've seen that. Oh, anyway. And then Toradora.
Excuse my dog butting in. She's going to be wandering around through the video.
Toradora 1 had a really catchy, spunky info.
I only mentioned like one last time. Yeah. Look where we are now.
And then one ending that I could think of, those were all openers. One ending was from Inuyasha, Every Heart. It's just a pretty ballad for the ending sequence. That's the only ending sequence I could think of at the top of my head. But yeah, that's it for me for openings that I could think of.
Do you want to go into the next one?
All right. Number 2 was our favorite plot in an anime. So I changed my answers this time. So let's be real. Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale is awesome. There's so many arcs. It's a great anime to binge, and there's a lot of content. You and I could probably agree that some arcs are better than others, but that's with every anime. But still, it's great. You know, it's a great anime and really enjoyable. And then my second answer is, we started watching this, I think, a few months ago now. The time I got reincarnated as a slime. It is surprisingly funny. Like, we started it, we're like, this is not going to be good. The time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Modern boy gets transported to a fantasy world trope.
It's funny.
It's kind of flipped on its head or on its side.
Yeah, it's funny. It's got a great voice cast. It's just, it was a surprise, So those are the 2 I have. What do you have?
Okay. I have a lot more for this one too. Library Wars is a great, underrated. That's going to be my another question too, but let me see if I can find it. actually have the DVD of it now. It's super exciting. Library Wars anime. This is actually about like a futuristic world where the government controls pretty much all print materials. Books are banned for like content, and these like troop, this like branch of the military is like trained to protect the rights of citizens to like read and distribute like books and stuff. So it's really good, and it's got a little romance in there. It's like slice of life, sort of like futuristic sci-fi. It's really good. Really fun surprise. Not enough people have seen this, so highly recommend. There's a little show called Real Life where it's like a NEET, like a unemployed adult gets asked to participate in this drug trial where he becomes a high schooler again, and he gets to like kind of relive and relearn about relationships and what is important in life, and it's just really fun. I'm kind of hoping for a second season. Psyche, that's the one with the pink-haired alien. Can't get more unique than that. Basically, he has two little things he has to keep in his head to control his powers because he's like ridiculously strong, and he will just like destroy everything if his powers are unleashed their full potential, and it's really hilarious. It's like basically slice of life, but just like with alien powers. It's great. What else? Dr. Stone is one that premiered in the spring, I think. It's basically like about something happens to the world, everybody in the world gets turned into stone, and so then, what is it, like 6,000 years later or crazy. Something, some people start waking up and they have to try to like rebuild their civilization and relearn how to live, and it's like got science in it, and it's like really interesting because it like shows you how to do things and like make electricity and build clay pots. And
it's a really cool
It's crazy.
premise.
It's very different.
Yeah.
And then another one of the like most unique premises I've heard of an anime is Cells That Work. This is basically like a picture inside the human body of like all the characters are like your red blood cells and your like diseases that sneak in and they're like trying to attack people, and you got your white blood cells that are like trying to fight them off, and like, it's just like it's very informative and educational, but it's like entertaining at the same time. And the little platelets are so adorable, and the cutest little girl children that like help repair your skin and stuff, and it is like the weirdest thing you would ever hear about in anime, but it actually works. It's very cute.
And she is really picky when it comes to sci-fi like esque things. Like you like sci-fi, but you're very picky with it. So when I watched Dr. Stone or started watching it, I'm like, oh, you like it too. I'm surprised, but
adorable anime children always help.
It does. Is that it for you?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So question 3, overrated anime we didn't like. So for me, just changing obviously my answer from last time. I had 2 this time. I wasn't a fan of Spice and Wolf. A lot of people raved about that one. It has a great voice cast. I love the voice cast, but it's just like, it was boring and just not really enjoyable. So Spice and Wolf, and then Rurouni Kenshin. Story about a samurai. There's a lot of animes with samurai in it that I love, but Rurouni Kenshin, it's older. I think it's like 90s-ish or the early 2000s. Anyway, I wasn't a fan. I know a lot of people do tend to like that one. I wasn't a fan.
I would agree with that. And, you know, it has such good potential. It started off so strong, but, like, after, like, a few episodes, it just sort of dragged on. And I really like the characters and stuff, but the pacing was just not for us. We just gave up on it, sadly. So I'm curious to, like, try the live-action movies, because I feel like maybe those would, like, kind of swiftify the plot to make a board. But, yeah. We'll see. So I guess I will do the next one. Oh wait, I have to answer this one.
I was saying, you didn't even answer this one.
So a couple I have for unpopular opinion are Attack on Titan. I'm not really into like the gore and like super military action stuff. I just know just from what I've seen of like the trailers and the parts that I've seen my husband watch that I wouldn't really be into it. So I haven't actually tried that one for like a whole episode or anything, but that's just not one that is going to be it for me. And also, I've tried a couple of the Magic-Girl genre of anime, like Cardcaptor Sakura and those, and I did try Madoka Magica as well, but I don't really care about little girls with magic. I like my anime characters to be like closer to my age, I guess. So yeah, that's the two I had for that answer. And then number 4 again was just if you prefer dubs or subs, and we pretty much answered that in the last one, and we didn't really change our taste at all. I'm good with either. Grace prefers,
dubs. Just because I multitask. But I will watch subs. I mean,
she will, but it's just not her priority. She likes to do a bunch of other things while she's watching anime, and I'm just like watching anime, so I could do either.
Yep.
Subs are definitely more accessible. They definitely usually come out first, and there's like a broader assortment on subs than dubs, so that's mostly what I watch. Number 5 is an anime that had a slow start but you ended up enjoying. So for this one, I did Skip Beat. Skip Beat is about a girl that gets into the entertainment industry because her boyfriend broke up with her, and like in a really cruel way, and she wanted to get vengeance on him. So she said, I'm gonna go into the same industry as you, and I'm gonna beat you at your own game. And so that's what it's about. And it kind of started off like you're not really liking her because she's all about revenge and she doesn't have very like nice personality. But like if you stick with it, it's like really interesting, and like explains about the acting like traits and techniques, and like gets into all her different roles and like their different relationships she forms in the business. And it just, by the time the anime ended, I was very upset because it just stopped abruptly. And of course by now I'm hooked on the manga because that's the only way I can finish the story, and it's up to like 39 volumes now, and I'm like at 37, so I'm almost up to the currently releasing, and I'm kind of upset about it. And the other one I had for a slow start was One Piece. Most of you have seen or heard of the Shonen Jump, like 800, no, it's like 900 episode long now, series. We are almost halfway through. Me and my husband have gotten almost up to 350. So we are slowly making our way up to current day releasing. But that is one that I was like, it's a pirate anime. Like, that kind of sounds fun. So I like started watching it, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. But now I'm like, you just fall in love with these characters. Like, the benefit of like having all these episodes to watch is if you just like have so much time with these characters, and you just like, you want to like cheer them on, and you want to like see what happens and follow them in their lives and stuff. And it's a cool experience that you don't get with a lot of anime.
Yeah, yours? I am. Just to tag on to that, I also would agree with like One Piece. It's not one I wrote down, but I definitely agree with you. I'm not as far as my sister and brother-in-law. I think I'm only in in episode 20 range. It's definitely slow for me, but I'm still like enjoying it, I for sure. Anyway, but my answers for that, including One Piece, is Steins Gate. Steins Gate, I heard so much about it for a long time. It's very sci-fi. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's got a really interesting premise. It's just, it is a little slow, at least for me. But it ends well. It's a really good anime. Anyway, and then my second one is Hiro no Kakera, which is the story about the Tamayori princess. And it's one of our favorite genres, which is reverse harem. I almost said harem. Reverse harem, where it's one girl with a bunch of guy characters that are all different personalities, and it's hilarious and
a lot
great.
of guys are easier to deal with than a lot of girls.
In
our
true.
Opinion.
It's so true. Anyway, but that one, it literally fits this question. It started off really slow, and then the voice acting is so on point for that anime, and but once it got going, it was pretty awesome. So anyway, moving right along. Are you?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So favorite male and female characters. So for me, I said Yona and Hawk from Yona of the Dawn. I love Yona of the Dawn. It was really enjoyable. That was actually, in my experience, the very first time in anime where I actually preferred the sub to the dub voice cast. That never happens with me. Because I watched the sub first because it came out and I really wanted to watch it. So I watched the sub. And then, then I wanted to rewatch it when the English was announced and released and whatnot. And even though the English cast was great, I'm like, I love all these people, but I was just really disappointed. So literally, she can attest to this. This is like the only anime that I can think of right now that I actually prefer the sub. Anyway, so Yona and Hawk. Mizaki and Takumi from Maid-sama. I actually have it, I think, right back here. I love Maid-sama. If you've seen it, you know exactly. It's like he pushes all her buttons and it's just, you think she's gonna like go ballistic, which she does a couple of times, but you know, it's just a sweet high school, and I usually don't like some high school animes because they're sometimes very juvenile. So, but Maid Sama is so great. Anyway, and then my third one, a different one than I said last time was Edward Elric and Winry Rockbell from FMA, Fullmetal Alchemist. So I love them. If you've seen FMA, you know exactly where I'm at on that because they are awesome. So anyway, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna start us off because it's another long list with Zoro and Chopper from One Piece. Out of all the One Piece characters, they're probably my favorite. Chopper being number one. He's just the most adorable, snuggly reindeer child I've ever seen. And he loves cotton candy, and he's the best ship doctor in the world, and he's just great and adorable. And Zoro is my second favorite One Piece character because he's like number 2 in command. Pretty much he's like one of the first people that joined Luffy's crew. Always has his back. He's like the best lieutenant. He has horrible sense of direction, so I can relate to him really well because he can get lost like on a one-way train kind of thing. But he's great. He's super strong, super tough, and super loyal to Luffy, and I really admire that. Pretty much all of the cast of the 2019 Fruits Basket, I think everybody did a fabulous job. I loved seeing a lot of the same voice actors come back for the dub, and I thought, even though some of the writing was tweaked and some of the stuff was left out and added and whatever changed around, I thought everybody was really true to their characters, and their relationships with each other were really genuine and heartfelt as in the original, and I really appreciated that. I really like the character Akun from My Sweet Tyrant. It's like a really short, sweet, underrated anime about this like total sunder guy and his girlfriend. He just like out loud he treats her like the absolute worst, but in his head he's just like totally in love with her. And it is like the shortest little anime. It's like they're 2-minute long episodes and like little snippets, and you can like get through it in one sitting. But I had to shout that out because I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, and I really enjoy it. Violet Evergarden, she is amazing as a character. Yes. The like craziest like cyborg typewriter lady. I don't even know. She's been through hell and back and is still just like the most sweetest gal ever you shall meet. What else? I think I wrote something here. What is that? Pretty much like the whole main class team from My Hero Academia. Oh yeah. MCA, like everybody in that class, there's such like a good friend bond. Like they all, you know, don't always get along, but most of them get along and are like super tight with each other. And I just love seeing like their whole like relationships and the whole bond that goes between them within the show. I'm really excited for season 4 coming out next month in October, and I can't wait to get back to that world. But that is most, if not all of a lot of my favorite female and male characters for this time.
These lists are so short. I mean, our list would be like yay long, but you know.
It's gonna be a long video, okay? Sit tight. Get a drink, get a snack.
All right, moving right along. We have what anime deserves more attention, and I'm just gonna spitfire these because, well, we gotta get through this video. But one of them is Ori Monogatari, or called My Love Story in English. This one was so cute. It's about this big, hulky like guy. He's a very unusually shaped guy for his age and whatnot, and he's a gentle giant. That's the best way to describe this character. He's got some really unique drawing of how they did his lips. And if you've seen a cover or anything of this anime, you know what I'm talking about. It's really unique. But
he's not the typical, like, romantic lead
exactly.
in an anime.
It's surprising.
That's what's so unique about it.
And, I mean, I think a lot of anime fans do know this anime, but, you know, I feel like it needs more attention than it has gotten. So, anyway, Ori Monogatari. And then my second one, we've already mentioned several times, Violet Evergarden. That show, like...
It's gotten a lot of praise, but
it's gotten a lot of
everybody should watch it, even if you don't
yes.
like anime. It's so beautiful. Even the animation by itself is
the
so
animation
beautiful.
Is just breathtaking. Their eyes, when you look at their eyes and you're watching it, you're like,
just the
so
facets,
pretty.
like the reflections of like glass or water, or like anything. It's crazy.
So Violet Evergarden, and then Shonen Maid. Brianna especially loves this one. I do too. But we both especially found this one. We found it on Funimation, right? Was it Funimation or was it Netflix? Anyway, whatever we found it on, we found it, and it was like a surprise. It's about this kid who goes to live with a family member and helps him around the house, and it's really chill. So if you want just to like kick back and just watch anime and not have to really pay attention to a lot of intense plot points, this is like, or world building, it's really easy. It's chill.
It's like a sweet relationship between the kid and his uncle.
Good character development,
it's
really all that stuff. So those are mine. What are yours?
Okay. These are our underhyped ones, right?
Yes.
I'm going to again mention My Sweet Tyrant, which is the Sunder boyfriend.
I need to watch that one. I don't think I've seen that yet.
It is only subbed, I think, so that's probably why she hasn't watched it, but it is literally like only 25 minutes long if you watch it all the way through.
I just need to do it. I just need to do it.
Yes. I'm also going to plug Library Wars again. More people need to watch this. It's great. And it's not very long either. Welcome to the Ballroom is on Amazon Prime, and if you haven't seen it yet and you like anything to do with dancing, or like you are used to the sports anime sort of style, and it's just it's another one where the animation is just amazingly, especially like things like dancing where you have to like get the proportions and the movements and everything. It is fantastic. Also, the opening song is really great, as I already mentioned. That one is just phenomenal. I love that one. And Demon Slayer. A lot of people love this one. A lot of people rave about this one, but in case you haven't heard of it, Demon Slayer is amazing. The animation's phenomenal. It's really unique. I can't even describe it to you. You just have to go watch it. It's like a little darker than I usually go for taste and like gore and stuff, but it's totally worth it. We'll talk more about it in a later question, as you'll see, but I'm kind of obsessed with it right now. The first season is just about ending, and it is great. So I'm just going to stop, so I don't go on a rampage for like the next 10 minutes. Okay, the next part is merch. So we have a few merch things we haven't shown off in 3 years, so we're going to show that off now. Would you like to start?
Okay. Well, I have hanging over here a lovely, if I can get it off its hook.
You could probably just...
Oh, it broke.
Well.
And it broke.
That happens.
That's okay. So I have this lovely fairy tale scroll that my sister got for me. Was it Christmas or birthday? I don't even remember. It was some gift at some time in the last 3 years. And I have this hanging in my room ordinarily. And it's got the whole gang on it. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. So there's that. And then just some classic animes. I've already shown this. Maid Sama.
Whole stack down, so you don't have to like
that's probably true.
5 seconds.
Good idea. Good idea. Classics like Howl's Moving Castle, Studio Ghibli, Hayao Miyazaki, Ponyo. We got Wolf Children, if you haven't seen this one. Oh, so good. School Rumble. This one I love to watch just to make me laugh. Say I Love You. And Whisper of the Heart, another Studio Ghibli. My Neighbor Totoro, another Studio Ghibli. Is there a repetition? Your Name, really beautiful art, animation,
Everybody
and all
knows
that.
by Your Name, but in case you don't, go watch it.
And that's my stack. And you take over from there.
Okay. So Funko Pops. Mostly I collect Disney ones because I don't want to like overrun my household, but for these ones, Fairy Tail, I decided I had to collect at least a few of them. So I started off with the trio, Happy, Lucy, and Natsu.
Hi, sir.
So that's these ones here, and I just love them. They're my favorite 3 characters in Fairy Tail, and so I love them sitting in my library on my bookshelf, by my bookshelf. So they'll sit there and watch us now. And then I also added Ezra recently because she is Ezra. Oh my goodness.
I was going to say
Shame
something.
on me. Urza Scarlet. My mouth can't keep up with my brain because she is also awesome and fierce, and I can't get enough of Urza ever. Especially her voice actress is super good. Tell them your name. Colleen
Clickenbeard? Clickenbeard?
Her.
Yes.
She's really good. I can always recognize
she's
her voice in the
anime
character.
royalty, like in our book.
I already shown off Library Wars a few times. Oh my goodness, and drop stuff. I also have Your Name copy because who doesn't? Who should? One Punch Man is great. I got this for my husband because that's like one of the few that he'll like actually rewatch, which doesn't happen a lot. And then I have the whole collection of Studio Ghibli. My favorites probably being House Moving Castle, Poppy Hill, Whisper of the Heart, Ponyo. Oh, there's just so many good ones.
There's so many.
I really love
Spirited Away. Spirited Away is
Spirited
classic.
Away, of course, is like the nominated, like accoladed one. So that's some of my DVDs that I haven't shown before. And then I have some bookmarks. I have some like Japanese inspired bookmarks. I have like a whole box of them that shows some of the picture of them on the back. But I like read a lot of books, so I have some bookmarks. I have some card captor Sakura ones that I cut into wings. And I have this Ikagi one. It's pretty. It's cherry blossoms. I have a few
Oh, wow.
Kami-sama Kiss ones as well, because that's another favorite, which we probably already mentioned in the last video. So we won't do much about it today, but that's still a favorite for sure. And that's pretty much it for merch. The necklace obviously was in the last video as well, but that's our fairy tale emblem right there.
Awesome,
Would you
awesome.
like to lead us into the next
I
question?
shall lead us into the next question. So, the next question is the favorite platonic relationship in anime, and the ones I said in the last video were definitely still hold true. But I only wrote one for this just because it's all I could think of in the moment. Kirito and Sugu or Suguya from SAO. Kirito and his sister. It's so funny. I remember her character name in the game than I do her actual name, because you obviously hear her character name more, which is Leafa. But yeah, I love the buildup of the character dynamics in their relationship, and of course, for a lot of the story, you know, they don't realize that they are who the other is, you know, and they realize it later and stuff. But I love that whole buildup of their relationship and how they grow closer amidst the whole turmoil of SAO. So that's all I have.
Okay.
Short and sweet.
Well, I have several again.
I think we swapped. Last time I feel like I had several, and then this time I have a few.
Pretty much, again, all of the relationships in Fruits Basket, old and new.
Yes.
How Toru just befriends like all of the Zodiac characters and really forms a bond with them, even when she hasn't known them very long or very well. She gets like right to the heart of their issues and just like welcomes them without like criticism or anything, just like unconditional love, and those are always going to be some of my favorites. Obviously all the relationships in My Hero I already mentioned, My Hero Academia. Saitama and Genos from One Punch Man. It's kind of like a Zoro and Luffy thing where Genos is like his like assistant, like he's learning, his like disciple, he's learning from Saitama, who's like the strongest man alive and nobody knows it. Ota and Tanaka from Tanaka-kun is Listless. If you haven't seen that one's pretty entertaining. It's basically about this guy who has like no energy to do anything. He just like slumps around all day. He won't even like get up and walk to class, so his friend Uta will carry him on his shoulder like a sack of rice and just carry him from class to class and like has his back and helps him out. And that's why I put that on there, because Uta's like the best friend ever, to put up with his other friends like laziness. And then from Haikyuu, Hinata and Kageyama, who are the like red-haired and kid who like can jump and run really fast, and Kageyama who can like set balls perfectly, and they're like the team duo of the team, and they're it's kind of like a hate to love thing where they like start off as sworn enemies and like hate each other's guts, but then through like being on the same team they have to work together, and their pros really like mesh together with each other, so they end up being a really good team and they become friends because of it, and it's really cool. And then also from Shonen Main, Chihiro and Madoka from the uncle and the nephew, and that the relationship is really sweet. And shout out to Demon Slayer. I told you it was going to come up again. Nezuko and Tanjiro. Oh my goodness. That is like my current platonic ship of all time for right now because if you don't know, this isn't a spoiler, but basically Tanjiro's sister Nezuko gets turned into a demon in like the first episode, and basically the whole show thus far at the end of the first season is him trying to keep his sister safe and keep her from turning full demon and protecting anybody that's going to harm her or them. And it's so beautiful and I love it so much and I'm going to cry. Okay, keep it together. Okay, and then One Piece, all the relationships, like the whole crew of One Piece is great. Like some of the characters themselves get on my nerves, but when they're all together, it is so fulfilling and great and I love it.
And I think we can do an honorable mention of Fairy Tail too.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it last time. Well, we mentioned them in the characters, but yeah. Fairy Tail is great. And that is finally the end. So the last one, we made it. Woohoo! Good job, everybody that's still watching. Actively currently watching shows. Take it away.
Okay.
I'm tired of talking.
So, as I mentioned in the previous video, I'm one of those people that I currently watch several at a time because I don't like to just to watch one thing because
she gets bored.
YOLO. Yeah. I can't believe I just used that. Anyway.
5 years ago.
So, unlike my sister, I started this year Attack on Titan. I was a little behind the train, but at least I didn't have to wait as long for the releases because anybody else who watches the series, the releases were very sporadic.
Fair, my husband just started this year too, so you're not alone.
Anyway, so I'm currently on season 2. Still enjoying it. It is graphic, and and I understand why she's not into it because it's very violent. Like it. But that's okay. Me, I'm really drawn to the story. The story is really solid, and the art style is very unique from what I've seen in anime. So anyway, so season 2 is Attack on Titan for me. I'm still trying to catch up on My Hero Academia. I'm on season 2. I finished season 1. I liked it. I'm still on season 2, and season 4, as Brianna said, is already going to be coming out soon, so I need to catch up. And then this one is on Netflix, for those of you who have Netflix. It's called Seven Seeds. This, I believe I'm halfway through it. It's a sci-fi anime. It's, I don't know if I could say it's post-apocalyptic. Probably post-apocalyptic. It's just check it out on Netflix. It's really good. There's a trailer on there. You can see if you're into that sort of thing. It was a surprise. I mean, I didn't know anything about it going in, and I'm like halfway through, and I'm like, I like this. This is cool. It's on Netflix. So, and then what else am I currently watching? Dr. Stone, because we already mentioned it's definitely post-apocalyptic sci-fi, but it's so unique. But it's very unique. Collectively between us, how many animes have we ever, at least a couple hundred between the two of us of completion and watched animes and stuff. Anyway, so that's mine. What are you currently watching?
Okay, well, several things actually. Also Dr. Stone, also the final season of Fairy Tail, which I don't know if you mentioned.
I didn't mention it.
But yeah, I'm
also watching that.
Demon Slayer. There's only 2 more episodes, but I'm still currently watching it. Okay. And then I'm watching this one on Amazon Prime called Kokoku.
That's fun.
That's how you say it. It's really weird. It's about a family that can stop time and I don't know, travel through time. It's not really explained, and I'm already almost done with the season, so I don't know if I like it or not, but I'm watching it, so there you go. I'm still watching One Piece. I will be watching One Piece till the end of my life, probably, because there's 900 episodes. I just finished the first season of the new Fruits Basket. We both did.
Yes.
So I'm not technically currently watching, but I did just finish that
yesterday. We just finished
it. So I just wanted to mention that it's amazing. Did a very good job. The slime reincarnation one, the time I got reincarnated in slime. That's what we're currently watching that together. So sometimes we don't get to it every week, but And then also one called Uta no Prince Sama, which is another reverse harem about students in a music school. And I'm only 4 episodes into that one, so the jury's still out on whether I like it or not. But I didn't give up on it yet, so yeah, that's what I'm currently watching, and I am loving anime still, going strong. So, would you like to talk about the bonus questions you thought up for this?
I came up with bonus questions.
Tag?
Because the more you know, the more anime you come to discover,
and
right?
And the longer the video.
Yes.
That's okay. At this point, who matters? It doesn't matter. Who cares?
All right, so some bonus questions. So these are ones we did not cover in our last video. So these are brand new. So I want to ask us, each other, favorite anime movie. So I'm going to just go through these. So I already showed some of these. Your Name, Wolf Children. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Don't get her started on Wolf Children. Seriously.
I can't.
The soundtrack alone will get her started on Wolf Children.
I write to that soundtrack. It's so soothing. Anyway, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which I believe is one of my first anime movies. It's older. I think it came out. Well, it's not.
Oldie bitty goodie.
Yeah, it's an oldie bitty goodie. I think it came out in like the early 2000s. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Miyazaki films. I mean, Studio Ghibli. You can't go wrong there. Yes, I mean, like she mentioned, we like some better than others,
but all of them are worth to watch at least once.
Yes. And then this one is hard because it's a sad one, but I still love it. And I actually saw a recent preview that it might be dubbed soon, and I'm freaking out. But
you probably won't like it as much as the subs.
I'm probably gonna butcher this. Hotarubi no Morai. It's this fantasy adventure about this human little girl who meets this forest spirit who has a mask over his face, and they like grow up together and they get to know each other, and it's just like no spoilers, but seriously, it's a really good story.
Too short.
Too short. It's like it's a movie. It's like they should have made it a series, man. Dang it.
That's short even for a movie, I think.
But those are my favorite movies. I mean, I like many more, but these are generally my favorites.
Okay. I also agree with a lot of the ones she listed, but I have some extras to mention. The My Hero Academia movie, Two Heroes, was fabulous. I went and saw it in the theaters. That's how much I wanted to see it, and I loved it. It had the perfect balance. It had everything I wanted. It had humor. It had the bond between the teammates. Watch out, Kiva. She's in my face. It had, like, such good pacing with the action and the comedy, and it had just everything I wanted. It was the perfect My Hero movie. It was great. And the Fairy Tail Dragon Cry movie is also really good.
I didn't even think of that.
The Phoenix Priestess was okay, but I liked Dragon Cry especially. It was super good. You already mentioned
that one.
Hotarubi. Yes. Nori. What did I write here? Oh, Modest Heroes. That's a collection of short stories. There's not really a lot to them, but each one is, like, impactful, and it makes you think, and it's really unique, and so I just thought I'd mention it because it's really
They're
cool.
very impactful. Watch with caution.
It's an emotional ride for each one. Lupin, the third movie, Castle of Cagliostro or something, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's a fun one if you just want to dip into the Lupin world. That's a fun one you can just watch by itself. Or by yourself, whichever you prefer.
All the above.
There's a beautiful movie called Makia, and it's about a mother and son relationship, and it is very heartwarming and very heartbreaking in the same token. But it's worth a watch. It is. I went into it not really knowing what to expect, but ended up being very different than I was expecting. But does that make sense? I don't know what I'm saying. I think I need to stop this video. Anyways, we recently watched a movie called Akko's Inn, which is also super sweet and beautiful and tragic.
All the
and
feels.
Great.
All the feels.
But it has a good ending, and it's just like,
yes.
It makes you feel good at the end of it. And Your Name, of course.
Yeah.
And that is all for me for now.
All right.
TB determined.
So my next question I thought of was hilariously over the top anime, for better or for worse. Like them or hate them. This was the list of ones that I like. Some of these I actually really did enjoy. Some of these I'm like, I enjoy to mock them. Like, if they redid them, I think they'd be really decent.
They don't stand the test of time. Basically.
Yes, especially that. So one of them is Marmalade Boy. It is definitely a product of its time. It's like early 90s, like early 90s. Like, I think we're talking pre-Pokemon era, I think.
Nothing's pre-Pokemon, surely.
That's fair. But no, Marmalade Boy, if you know that story, it's definitely a unique premise as far as plot, but it's very drawn out. It's laggy in pacing. The characters say each other's names way too often. It's really annoying. You think Inuyasha and Kagome is bad? That is nothing.
That's saying something.
That is nothing compared to Marmalade Boy. But I recently just rewatched it, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite, but it's fun to mock, honestly.
There you go.
Anyway.
Everybody needs something.
And my next one is the mysterious play, otherwise known as Fushigi Yugi.
Oh my gosh, this traumatized so many people, this one.
So many good characters. I think if they redid it, I honestly think it would be really solid. It's just another one like Marmalade Boy where they yell each other's names a lot. I mean, it's a really good premise.
I wish they would animate some of the other manga arcs too, because I've heard a lot of those are really good.
Yeah, if you've seen Fushigi Yugi Mysterious Play, you know what we're talking about. It's once again a product of its time. They yell each other's names a lot. It's annoying at times. It's intense at times, surprisingly. I definitely like probably that one more than Marmalade Boy because I don't mock it as much. Marmalade Boy, it's a straight up mock fest. But anyway, moving along. On My Goddess. On My Goddess, I haven't seen since my early years in college, and so we're talking like 2011, 2012. But I just remember it because it was very over the top. It was enjoyable, but it was just literally point blank over the top.
Even for anime.
Yes. Yes. So I'll just leave that there. And then last one, you will probably agree with this. Well, you've agreed with all of them.
Peach Girl?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Is Peach Girl another one? You tell me.
Peach Girl is another one, definitely. But Brothers Conflict.
Oh, yes.
You mentioned it as a good intro, which it does have
painful.
That one is painfully bad. And it's newer. I think it came out like a couple years ago.
I think its problem, and some animes can be successful at this, but its problem was it was a video game. And they tried to turn it into an anime when it shouldn't have been. Some video games can be turned into anime successfully. We've seen it happen. It's the thing. Persona 5. But it was not the case for Brothers Conflict. It should have stayed a video game. And they should have just put that
cut their losses.
A beautiful song in a commercial or something, because I would have still taken that song. Yeah. But
Persona 5 is a great example where they did that and it was successful. So anyway, but what were yours? Those were all mine that I could think of.
No, I don't have any more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so seriously, if you want to mock an anime, Marmalade Boy, I highly recommend. It's actually available on YouTube as of right now. And Fushigi Yugi, I think, is on Amazon Prime. Anyway, next question. And this will probably be quick for both of us. Anime that made us crave food. And let's be disclaimer, all animes, when
there's food in it, it looks amazing.
It looks amazing. What is that? It's anyway. But two that stand out to me are Food Wars. I mean, if you've seen Food Wars, you know what I'm talking about. It's wow. They make and also I will add this, Hayao Miyazaki films, the egg and breakfast making scene from Howl's Moving Castle. If you've seen Howl's Moving Castle,
the Ponyo ramen scene.
Yes! Ham! And then another series, Restaurant to Another World. We watched that this year. So such a surprise. Each episode.
Everything looks so good.
Oh, so great. Mouth-watering. Do you have anything for that?
Probably, but I can't think of any at this time. But yeah, Restaurant to Another World is definitely the top most recent one about food cool. That just makes you want food so much.
And then
there a ramen one? I've watched a couple ramen ones that make ramen look amazing too. Yes. I don't remember the names of them, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's a couple ramen ones where people just eat ramen the whole show, and it's just oh.
So last question, guys. If you've hung on this long,
good for you.
Yeah.
Props for anime love.
So last question I thought of for bonus was anime we could only watch one time because it was so sad. So, and if you've seen these, you know what we're talking about. Your Lie in April. It's on Netflix.
Never again.
Beautiful soundtrack, piano music up the wazoo, but no spoilers. It's just a good story. It's just
traumatic.
It's traumatic. It's a lot of drama. It's heavy drama. If you're not into the emotional drama ones,
just look up the soundtrack. Yeah, it'll be good.
Exactly.
You get the happy experience.
But it's a lovely story. A Silent Voice. I recently watched this one this year. That one almost made me cry. I didn't cry, but I got misty.
I read the manga and that was plenty for me. I could not do the movie too.
It killed me. Anyway, A Silent Voice, and then Anohana or Anohana. Anohana, the flower that bloomed that day, or whatever it was called.
That's not a hard one.
Gosh. I mean, I don't know. Out of all these, I'd say Your Lie in April was the hardest one. I mean, none of these I've rewatched. You know, I tend to rewatch a lot of things I like, especially in anime, but these are ones that I don't know if I could rewatch just because they're just hardcore feels in a hardcore way.
I will piggyback on, because she might actually still rewatch this, but I probably won't, is Clannad After Story.
I have rewatched it.
The second season of that destroyed me for days. I had such a hangover after watching that show. Oh my gosh, it was so painful.
I have rewatched it because it's so good, but it's another good soundtrack one.
It's
if
good,
you just
it's
want
bad,
good,
it's all the feels. What can you do?
Yeah. So is that all you had on that?
That's it. I think we finally made it to the end of the 2.0 anime tag. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you maybe sometime again with another anime related video. Let us know what you want to see, what we could do, and that would be great. Thank you so much. Bye.